Welcome back, guys. And I'm really trying to get creative here, the best I can. And I do apologize, but I have little dogs and it is windy here and they bark at everything, everything, especially the wind hitting up against the windows, the doors, and they own my house, okay? My dogs rule the house. So they're out in the living room and I'm trying to be in a quiet area of the house, quiet room. So I'm just trying to focus on a little something here. I don't know how it'll turn out, but it is what it is. Got to do what you got to do, right? So you're looking at this old little kind of camera thing I had. I just kind of rigged this up last minute. So, but I have a lot that I want to go over. I was looking up some more things on the Summer Wells case, and right now with what Molly Golightly and her crew are doing is just, it's just really crazy. But I was looking at this 15-year-old kid, and the interview that he had going on, or he had about what went on, that last day when Summer became missing, and I just find a lot of things odd about his interview. But, Molly did drop another video. We're getting little bits and pieces of what everybody's money paid for that donated, right? Um, and she, I think they did another video. She's suing somebody. Don't know who she's suing or what it's about. And I just watched bits and pieces of that. But, she's suing somebody for, I think, 40K. She's going to get their information, she's going to get all their information. And they're going to guarantee their wages, is what she said. I don't know who she's talking about. But I guess they had dinner with somebody. I mean, this video is not about Molly. I'm just kind of explaining, I was looking up some more stuff on that, on what Molly and her team were doing, or not doing, I should say. And I guess they released the video of them going back to this swimming hole that Summer went to that day, right before she became missing. And Miss Betty, Blowhorn Betty, when you're counting, I get what you were saying, but when you're counting, you're doing, trying to count the steps and trying to count the seconds. You don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not how you count seconds, honey. Okay? It's, I don't even need to go there, but you know how you count seconds, okay? And you don't do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? But anyways, I get what you were trying to say. Totally get that. And I agree. All right? I totally agree with that. You don't let any child in a body of water and you're not, right there with them. But I just find it, I don't know, something is just not sitting right with this 15-year-old. No, I'm not trying to say that he was involved, but just something is just, I don't know, something's really fishy. Um, but once again, Blowhorn Betty is stating that they went into this hippie shop to buy pot. Again, Tennessee, it is illegal in these shops to buy marijuana. Okay? Tennessee is still a state where it's illegal to buy pot. It's not legal. You can buy CBD oil, you can buy the vapes, as long as it doesn't have I think there's so much THC that can be in. I think it's a very small amount, if I'm not mistaken. But you cannot buy pot like you can in like Colorado or Michigan, some of the other states where it's legalized. Okay, Tennessee is still not a state where it's legal. So, in my opinion, these smaller companies that do buy, the vape pens, or that do sell, I'm sorry, the vape pens and the CBD oil, the gummies, the chewables, whatever, and, the bongs and stuff, they are not going to jeopardize their business by selling pot out of their stores. Now, and anything's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible because, it's happened. But in my opinion, that's false information. If they don't know that Tennessee is not a legal state yet, I don't know what to tell you. But I want to get past that. That's not why I'm here. That's why I was looking last night. Why I was looking, what I was looking up. And then I seen Natasha's back from her vacation. Okay. So this is what we're going to talk about because, Molly put those few things out. And, again, I was hoping that we could get more information of exactly, what they were doing on this case. But of course, it's hush hush. We can't say anything. We can't even say what we did today. They gave us little tidbits of what they did. They had a dinner with a couple that I guess the Wells told them they needed to check out. But besides that, they're really not telling us anything. They have to keep it hush hush even after they've done it. So they're really not, all these people that donated, I don't know when they're going to release what they did. Um, who knows? Who knows? But so that's why I was looking because I was wondering, what did I think they took out more dog food. Okay. Um, I don't know. They're just, it seems like we're getting more of them partying it down, drinking it up, if that's what's in the glasses, them unwinding. I know they were whining about, we put in a 12-hour day. Y'all act like you've never worked before. A lot of people work 12, 16 hours a day. Y'all act like you've just never worked before a day in your life. That 12-hour day was just so hard on y'all. You're just exhausted. This is some people's their daily thing that they do on a daily basis, So, I'm sorry you're so tired. Sorry. But anyways, we're getting past that. They didn't give us anything really. So, we'll just see where that goes. I mean, that's what I was interested in looking at, but now we see Natasha's back, okay? And so I have a lot to cover on Natasha. And we're going to start out with Glenn. All right. And like I said, I'm an observer for, different behaviors on social media. So with Glenn, I don't know much about him, okay? I've seen him on panels. I've seen what people have said about him. Um, that he's been very rude to people. Um, this is my take on Glenn from what I've seen myself personally, because I haven't seen him personally be rude to anybody because I haven't watched stuff all the way through, okay? I skip through. I've said that many times. Up until recently, I have watched a couple of videos all the way through, and I'll get to that in a minute. But this is my take on Glenn. Some might agree, some will disagree with me, and that's fine, but this is just my personal opinion with Glenn, because what I have seen with him being up on panel, like I said, you got to understand, I have not watched videos all the way through. I have not personally heard him up until recently. I have not heard him put people down besides MRB. Okay, I have heard him saying some things about her over on Natasha's thing and just going along with them. Okay, but so this is my personal look on Glenn. Just this is so hard to explain. Just from what I've seen him on panel. Okay, the short times that I've seen him. I see him as kind of a good-looking guy, okay, Some might say, oh gosh, no. This is my personal opinion, okay? A funny guy, all right? Also kind of like a boyish, one of those, he just puts off that vibe that if he was if he was in a group, real life, not on YouTube, he was like kind of one of those that would make everybody laugh. Okay, easy to get along with. All right, not one to be rude to people. Like I said, this is my opinion, guys. Glenn seems to me to be the type that um, I would get along with. All right. I have real life friends outside, outside of this YouTube drama crap, okay? Um, I have friends that I've been friends with for years and years since high school. That says a lot, okay? Many friends. We have a big circle. There's nothing wrong with having a small circle. I have a larger circle, and I'm proud to say that, these friends, we go way back. We do a lot of things together. The pandemic has really made it hard. I love them dearly. They're like family. And I see Glenn, and some of these people, I've met friends along the way that are younger, okay, younger than me. They're actually children of my friends that I went to high school with, okay? So they're a different generation. So I actually see Glenn fitting in with our group of friends, going out doing get-togethers, and I see Glenn as being um, kind of like the, I don't want to say boyish because I don't want to degrade him, all right, but being that people pleaser. To me, he seems like he is the people pleaser. All right. He is kind of like the one that likes to make people laugh. All right. To me, he seems like if he would be in a group of people, he would not be putting people down. If he was off of YouTube in a crowd of people, he would not be calling women, okay, um, bad names. He would not be calling them the B. I'm trying to keep my channel clean. You will hear me cuss once in a while. I said that before. But he would not be being nasty to women. I don't see Glenn doing that in real life, okay? But I see Glenn as kind of being a follower, not a leader, but a follower. Um, that's just my opinion. He really wants, he likes the thought of belonging, all right? And he just seems like he might get his feelings hurt easily, all right? So, on that note, that's just my personal opinion of what I have seen him up on panel, okay? He seems like to me in real life that he could be a very good friend, very fun to hang out with, because he seemed like he would be one of those just carefree people that, like I said, just would be fun to hang out with off of YouTube. I'm talking real life, all right? Now, like I said, I know people, there's going to be some people out there that are going to totally disagree with that, but we got to understand, who he's associating himself around, okay? And, you become the company you keep sometimes, right? And I'm not saying that bad about, I'm not trying to talk down or bad about any creator. I'm talking about what I am seeing, the behaviors I'm seeing on social media. And I could be totally wrong about Glenn. He could he might be the biggest jerk out there as a real life friend off of YouTube. This is just kind of the vibe that I get from him. You know, he seems to really. It seems like the people, the community, Natasha's community in the chat, they really like Glenn. Okay, they really like Glenn until until they feel like his loyalty to Natasha isn't there or it's questioned. And then they kind of flip on him, okay, until Natasha's like, nope, we're cool. Then their loyalty, then their friendship's back on track with Glenn, okay? And we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But that's my take on Glenn, okay? So we're going to move on from that. Now, I have to say that I did not know that Glenn had a channel. I had no clue. I did watch Granny's Watchings, and I watched it all the way through. This is one of the videos. It was longer, but I did watch it all the way through. Now, I have said that I skip through videos. That is one that I watched all the way through. There's another one that I watched all the way through, and I actually made notes on this one, and it was one of Natasha's, and we'll get to that. So when I say that there's videos, I cannot do these long videos, and this is probably going to be a long video. But when I say that I can't get through long videos, I do skip through videos, and yes, I probably am missing a lot of things, but that's how I do things. I'm sorry, it's the way I do things, and I probably do miss a lot of stuff, but it is what it is. But I did watch Granny's Watching's replay, and she was going through, because she got up on Glenn's panel, and it started out, like I said, I didn't even know Glenn had a channel, but he does. Good for him. He is allowed to have a channel. Everybody, actually everybody that comments or that's on YouTube has a channel. It's up to them if they want to make content, if they want to brand their channel instead of just doing personal, their personal or whatever. If they want to try to grow it to make money, if they want it to be a hobby, whatever. But, everybody has a channel that makes comments. Well, Glenn has a channel that he's making videos on. Now, it looks like his content is on MRB. That's who he's focused on. But you know what? It's his channel, right? He's going to do what he does. I think that Glenn could possibly branch out. He has got the charisma to do a lot better than that. All right. I think he might be trying to copy a little bit of Natasha, in my opinion. But, and I think he could do a lot better, and hopefully he does. But anyways, Granny's Watching jumped on his panel. Now, what he was doing was he was talking about case discussion. Now, I don't know much about her. I know she was with Natasha, and I think she left and then came back. All right, and then she left again. Could be absolutely mistaken on that, but I know she's not with her anymore and she has her own channel. I also know that the woman has had some health conditions, and one of those being a stroke. That the only reason why I'm saying that is it's already out there in YouTube. It's already been discussed. Natasha has made fun of her because she speaks slowly. Now, Natasha will say, I'm not talking about her speaking slowly because she's had a stroke. Well, we all know that with stroke patients, okay, not only does it affect, okay, or can affect, okay, your ability to move, your arms, your legs, and it can affect one side or the other, but it also can affect your speech, right? So when she says that, I'm not making fun of the way she speaks, but I can't stand how she talks so slowly. Yeah, you are. You are. You're making fun of her because she had a stroke, and you know you are. And Glenn basically was saying the same thing. He was making fun of how she talked, and he did speak about her having a stroke and stuff like that. So Granny's watching jumped up. She came up on panel and she was basically saying, hey, that's not okay. And he's like, well, if she wouldn't be talking about me, I wouldn't be talking about her. Now, I know nothing about that. Okay. That's something I don't know about. I didn't see any video on that. I guess it's on Case Discussions, maybe her channel. I haven't seen it personally. I guess her and Siren might have made a video or something. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. That's something that I will have to go check out. Okay. I know I said I wasn't going to go back and forth and try to pull this video up and that video. But if I'm going to have to, I might have to do that. Even though I said I wouldn't do it, I might have to do that if I'm going to have to understand everybody's behavior and why they're acting the way they're doing. I might have to be fair. And to be fair, I might have to go back and pull up some videos, to find out why people are acting like 12-year-olds. I mean, you really shouldn't have a reason why you act like 12-year-olds. But, to be fair, I might have to do that. So anyways, Jessica Lynn, Granny's watching, gets up on there on panel. And, she's discussing about, how she doesn't think this is right, that, you should be saying, this about her because of the health, and he's explaining, well, she doesn't talk about me. I wouldn't talk about her. And Granny's watching is like, I understand that. I understand how you feel and stuff. She didn't know about it either, something like that. But then it gets turned around about Natasha. Now, here's something that Glenn has stated. Okay. He kept saying, well, I guess I'm going to have to back up. I'm going to have to back up. Let's back up a little bit. Because I did watch that. But we have to we have to back up, because the reason why this is all coming out is because Glenn is put on the spot, and I'm going to call it Glenn's interrogation because that's what it looks like. All right? His interrogation by Natasha and her panel and the quote chatters or community. All right? He's up there and he's got to explain himself. Why he would have Granny's watching Jessica Lynn on panel on his own channel. All right? So he's got to explain himself. Now, he's already had to do this once before, right? And I didn't know what this was all about. I heard about it. So, I had a little bit of time today, and it's like, you know what? People has talked about this. And Jessica made a comment in this video about it, and I've heard about it before, that, you already had to hand over your male parts to Natasha once. And I heard about it, and it's like, I got to go find this. This is another thing I had to go dig up, because I heard it over and over that, he kept apologizing. This had to do with Siren leaving, okay? So I had to go find this video, and I had to see what people were talking about, because, again, I've heard it over and over, and I just didn't know what people were talking about. That this was the second time, that Glenn has had to explain himself to Natasha, to panel members, and to the community. So I went and found it, and I found it today. So we're going to backtrack. We're going to backtrack again. I did write down some notes, but it's not word for word. So when Jessica, when she did come up there, before she came up on his live, he was asking people, who do you belong to? Who do you belong to? And I'm thinking to myself, this is YouTube. Nobody belongs to anybody, Glenn. And he's like, well, I should have rephrased that. No, you're right. The way you said is exactly how it is for some of these creators. You belong to me in our little community, and you shouldn't go anywhere else because it's been said, don't go to anybody else. And you know, we're watching. I've seen it. I've seen this for 3.5 years. Okay, I have seen creators have their little minions out. Okay, they have their little army out in all the different groups and all the other YouTube channels, and they're watching to see how many people, who's where, and who's making comments here and there. Natasha is doing it as well. Okay, other creators are doing it as well. Who is where? Sending screenshots after screen. This person's here. This person's there. They're making a comment here. Someone might not even say a comment, a bad comment. They might even just say hi. Hi. Hello. But if they're in someone else's chat, okay, that a creator does not like because they might have said something bad, they're called the haters channel. But maybe this person just wanted to go over there to kind of, okay, I want to see what they're saying. You know, I want to see, are they truly a hater channel? Are they, what are they? But if they say a hi, you best believe they're going to be on blast. Okay? Because they've been seen over there. Are they not grown-ass adults to be able to go where they want to go? This is what I'm talking about, like cult-like behavior. Is it a cult as in, you know, a real cult, like a religious cult, like going out and gonna murder people or kill themselves cults? No. Come on. But I am gonna get into that series because it's important. But it is cult-like behavior, all right? They don't want you to go anywhere else. And, you know, just like Glenn asking, who do you belong to? They don't want you going outside of their community. Their community, okay? Their little community. Or, you know, if you want to say big community, we don't want to offend anybody. You're not allowed. If so, you're going to be called out. You're going to be ashamed. You're going to be shamed. You know, you might even, just like with Glenn. Glenn's up there. And I feel like and even some people in her chat were saying, and I think a lot of them were even members are saying, it feels like he's being interrogated. But we'll get to that. Okay, we'll get to that. You know, we have to go back. I was watching, I did watch that where the first time when Glenn was called out. And I guess that's when Siren and Natasha had their falling out. We all heard that message that should have never got put out there at all. Okay? A real friend. She wants to talk about Siren not being a real friend because he didn't get back with her in that 4 hours. And we all heard the message. Yes, it sounded like a very, he was very upset. He was distressed. Not once did he say he was going to self-harm himself. He kept saying, fix it, fix it, fix it. He was upset because two friends of his were battling it out. And he knows good and well that Natasha would not allow him to be a part of her community if he was friends, with the other side, with the other person. That's a given, okay? That's a given. So he was going to be forced to choose. And Natasha already said that she already said it. She's like, well, I never forced him to choose. But then she contradicted herself and she's like, I chose for him and I kicked him out. Okay? And then she goes on to say, well, I didn't like him to begin with anyways. I only felt sorry for him. And we'll talk about that later as well. because there's so many contradictions here. I can't believe some people cannot see through this bullshit. And this is not putting a creator down. This is just seeing it for what it is. All right? This is for seeing what people do on social media. And this is for me seeing it. And yes, I am shocked when other people don't see it. I really am. But this is what I see personally. So this is why I'm talking about it. So anyways, like I said, that should have never been put out for the public. Okay? And yes, he sounded very upset. And yes, I agree. I would have been concerned as well. But would I've automatically thought that he was going to self-harm himself? No, I did not hear that. I did not hear him say that. I would have known, okay, if he was so close to Robbie. I'll just go ahead and say it. He was so close to Robbie, and he was so close to Natasha, and here's his two friends saying we don't want nothing to do with each other, and he knew that he was not going to be able to be part of both communities, that he really wanted to be part of both of these communities. He did not want to be ripped apart, okay? And the only way that he was going to be able to be part of both communities is if they fix this relationship. And so he decided, to go and go on a panel because Natasha wasn't going live. And he did tell her, I'm okay. It was like 4 hours later. But I guess within these 4 hours, he was texting Glenn. And I didn't even know what these texts were about until I just watched this. And it looked like Glenn was out the door with him. Okay. He wanted to leave too. And he wanted to be part of Robbie's community. He was looking for a different community. And he was texting. And I guess I'm not sure what happened. I guess some maybe little fibs were being told. So Siren sent those texts to Natasha to say, hey, this is what was really said. So instead of Natasha going privately to Glenn and saying, Glenn, we got a problem. I'm hurt. I feel betrayed. Siren sent me these texts. It looks like you're not happy with me. You're not, you feel like you're torn between the communities. Let's talk. That's what adults would do in their 40s, right? She had to bring him up on panel and, in my opinion, humiliate him. She had to bring him up and make him explain himself in front of the community. Their community. What do cults do? That's why I say cult-like behavior. And I know they make it a joke. Yeah, they call us a cult. And that's why I am going to do a segment on it, because that's what they do in cults. If you do something wrong, okay, if you go against their community, what does the cult leader do? They humiliate you in front of their community. All right? They bring you in front, they circle around. All right? And I'm doing my research before I do my video on it. Because again, when we talk about, cult-like behavior, I'm not talking about a regular cult, because this isn't part of a religion. This isn't like, oh, we're going to give you Kool-Aid and kill people. This isn't like, I'm going to have you go out and kill people. It's totally different. All right? Totally different, but yet there's behaviors here. So cult leaders will bring their people that misbehaved and they will make them explain and shame them in front of the members, their community. And this is what she did to Glenn. She didn't go to him privately and say, okay, can you explain these texts? You know, what problem do you have with me? Why did you want to leave? You know, and handled it like an adult. All right? She didn't do that. She brought him up on panel and shamed him and had everybody in the chat talking crap, and I was reading the chat too. And you know, just it was crazy. It was just crazy. Crazy talk. You know, you would think Natasha was an actual queen, okay? And Glenn disrespected and really he did something illegal to Your Highness. He should be jailed. So he had to explain himself, and he had to say, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You know, they were trying to get me with, you know, now I understand why you tell us not to go over to the hate channels and listen, because they were really trying to get me going, and they really were trying to do this, and they were trying to do that. Or Glenn, honey, you got a brain. You're an adult. You have your own mind. Nobody can make you think or believe anything, okay? You can think for yourself. If you wanted to be over in Robbie's community and hang out with him, you should be allowed to. If you want to still have your friends over in Natasha's group, because I understand you make friends, okay, and you don't want to leave those friends, but they're so loyal to Natasha that if you leave, they're not going to talk to you again. What does that mean? They were never your friends. They were never your friend. I'm sorry. They were never your friend. So that's what I see, you know, when I talk about the cult-like behavior. And, you know, Glenn wants to belong, just like a lot of these other people. And I'm going to get off because I'm really going to do that piece because I see so many people in chat, not just in Natasha's group, but I see it mostly in her group. Some of the things that they say in chat is kind of disturbing and sad. And when I mean disturbing, I don't mean that in a bad way, okay? But we'll talk about it. And I won't say no names, of course. But we'll talk about it because it is really sad when I do that video. But so, yeah, I did find that and I did watch it. So, you know, he's up there. And, you know, Natasha wasn't mean to him. She was saying that it hurt, you know. She was hurt and disappointed and everything in him because he was going to leave. And she's like, well, you should have came to me, you know, privately and stuff. Well, didn't Robbie come to you privately and try to say, you know, as a friend, I think you should change your behavior on how you're doing, you know, going after people? Because, you know, I didn't watch Robbie. Like I said before, I seen a couple of his videos there not too long ago. But I heard that, you know, he went after people hardcore. And he wanted to change how he was doing things, and he seen Natasha doing the same thing, so he went to her privately, as saying, hey, you know, as a friend, you know, I think you should change how you're really going after people or whatever. He went to her privately, and she didn't respond, or she did not, she didn't want to have that. So going to her privately with an issue because she's made comments, if I don't know, she made it again. If I don't know what issues you have with me, how am I supposed to address it? Well, someone did address it that you were close to, that was supposed to be your friend, and you ignored it. So these people don't feel safe coming to you with an issue that they have. And then You call him out, you dog him, you talk about his sobriety, make fun of it, um, and make fun of a lot of other different things about him. So he did come to you privately, right? And you dismissed it, you know? Um, so moving on from that, I did watch that, and I'm sorry, Glenn, but Jessica Lynn was right on that. You kind of handed him over to Natasha, and you were begging her for for forgiveness, um, because you were thinking about leaving her community and going over to someone else. Now, I'm sorry, but I think you should be able to go wherever the heck you want to go to. Now, I kind of get Natasha's point of view, if someone's going to be dogging on you, but, I don't think Robbie would have been dogging on her if she wouldn't have been talking about him continuously. You cannot leave Natasha without Natasha dogging you and telling all your personal information. Just the little bit of time that I've been watching her again, all these people are leaving her. I mean, there's, again, a common denominator there, right? How can all these people be wrong? Why are they all leaving her? And then just, instead of just saying, okay, we are going our separate ways, she has to go after them, and she has to give all the information out on them, private conversations. She just can't let it go. And I understand if they make videos about her or whatever, I understand defending yourself, but she goes beyond that. She goes beyond that. And, if they want to go over in someone else's channel that might not like her, they're adults. They can do that. You know, maybe they have a story to tell of why they left. You know, so we're going to move on from that. You know, we're going to get back to, we're going to get back to Glenn's live now. So, Natasha kept saying, she said before that everybody that has a channel never sticks up for her. Well, Scarlett tried to. Look what happened. Glenn was sticking up for her. She didn't appreciate that. Even when Jessica Lynn was over there, Glenn was sticking up for her. She didn't appreciate that either. So people that do have, I mean, is it because they ain't got big channels? It shouldn't matter if you got a small channel or a big channel. If you got some, if they're sticking up for you, they're sticking up for you. Shouldn't matter if they have, a few subs or 100,000 subs. If they're sticking up for you, they're sticking up for you, right? Now, Glenn, you kind of fibbed in there because you kept saying that Jessica Lynn kept wanting to talk about Natasha. And that's the opposite. She kept trying to get off the topic of Natasha. She kept saying, I'm not here to talk about Natasha. Let's get off the topic of Natasha. She even tried to ask you, what are your plans with your channel? She tried to get off of the subject of Natasha quite a few times. And you brought it back to Natasha. She came up there to tell you, hey, what you said about, case discussion about her talking slow, I think that's what kind of ticked her off. Did she bait you? Yeah, probably. I mean, and then you kept wanting to talk about MRB, but I don't think that's why Jessica came up there. She was talking about case discussion and how you were basically making fun of how she talked. all right, when the woman had a stroke, but you're the one that kept bringing it back about Natasha. Jessica Lynn said many different times, I'm not here to talk about Natasha, and changed the subject. All right. Did she, you are kind of right. She did kind of take over your life. You are new, so I get that, but she had some really good points, and um, she had good comebacks. So, well, you could have booted her, and shut her down whenever you wanted to, but I don't know. Was she opening your eyes about a few things? Because, when she was doing her replay on it, I don't know. I seen something in your eyes there. I don't know. To me, it kind of got you thinking a little bit, you know. But I know you want to belong. You want to belong. You've made some good friends over with Natasha, over in that community. And I know you don't want to lose that. Okay? You don't want to lose that. You don't want to lose that friendship. And then Natasha says, I need to know something, Glenn. Did you really say that you would have her back on your channel? And yeah, you did. Natasha doesn't like that. But again, it's your channel. So, if you want to have somebody back on your channel, if you're talking about something that, if you want to debate, all right, and you guys were having a good debate on there, you have every right to do that without asking somebody else's permission. Friend or no friend. You and Jessica could become friends, okay? I know that ain't gonna happen, but you guys can become friends and not like the same person, okay? You could just ask the other person, hey, I would respect if you don't badmouth my other friend in front of me, okay? That's how adults act. That's how people act in real life when you have a friend, okay, that doesn't like your other friend. I said this before, but you can go out with the one friend one night and go out with the other one the other night. Does that mean you're not loyal to your one friend because you're friends with someone else that doesn't like that friend? No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that the loyalty isn't there. All right? It means you know how to adult. Not everybody's going to get along. All right? I'm sure growing up that you had friends that didn't get along, didn't like each other. Did that mean that you weren't friends with that person that your other friend didn't get along with? If so, then you have issues. All right? That means that you guys are all in this mindset of being back in junior high school. Because not everybody's going to get along with everybody. You don't have to feel this loyalty to this one person. Okay? Natasha is not God. She's not a queen. All right? You guys talk about this stupid loyalty bullshit like she's some celebrity. I don't get it. I don't get it. There is no reason for it. I don't get it. I really don't. Someone please explain it to me. Because her people cannot venture out and they're like, I'm not going to go listen to this person. I'm not going to go listen to this person. Even if these other people are not even discussing her. They might be talking about another true crime. They might be talking about doing crafts or whatever, but no, they have to stay right in that community. That's another cult-like behavior. They can't venture out. But let me tell you what, you can tell in that chat and stuff, they know, a lot of them know exactly what MRB is saying, and they even put a timestamp. These people that say they don't go and know what's going on, they know exactly. In all these different groups and different, or not groups, different YouTube channels and stuff, they know exactly what's being said, where the timestamp is. They're everywhere. Okay? She has people in all these different channels, and a lot of these channels I've never even heard of. So they are everywhere. Everywhere. Bringing back information. And they're even putting the exact timestamp of when this and that were said. So they are venturing out to listen to this person and that person and what they might be saying and bringing it back. But you're saying you don't want the drama brought back to the community and stuff? BS. Because drama sells. That's what keeps the channel going. BS. And they are everywhere. Everywhere. I see them everywhere when I am looking. Okay? I see them everywhere. And then you see it in the chat. Well, if you look at timestamp here on this video, you're going to hear this, you're going to see that. They make their rounds. Just like Critical K's did. And I've said that before. So we're going to move on from that. So, yeah, he did say that he would have her back. And he said he appreciated her. And, you know, I don't know. You know, he still stuck up for her. He still stuck up for Natasha. He did. So then we have Glenn talking about, you know, about being popular. This did not set well with the community nor Natasha. Okay, he's like, you know, I didn't know something about being popular. I didn't write this word for word. When I did this, I just kind of put bullet points. I didn't write anything word for word. And you know, he was talking about his channel, and you know, I'm trying to look over this. I'm sorry. He was talking about, you know, he didn't know that he was popular or that he was popular. And, you know, he's not using anybody for not using her for subs. But, you know, if her subs do come over there to his channel, then so be it. You know, he can't help that. But, you know, he didn't know that, or that he is popular and stuff like that. And, let me think here. Let me back that up. He did say that he tried to change the subject a lot, and that Jessica Lynn took over the channel. He did sometimes try to change the subject on different things, but again, you know, he was bringing up, he would go back to Natasha. He did. You would have to go through the video again. He did. Jessica Lynn did try to change the subject quite often, and it got brought back to Natasha. Like, well, basically he was asking Jessica Lynn to stop talking about Natasha. And Jessica Lynn explained, you know, my channel grew because of all the people that she hurt, you know, and all the people that she continues to hurt. So she even made a comment, you know, you will probably end up in my channel one day because of you getting hurt. You know, she already brought you up once, and that's what I looked up, you know, of him being up on there because of the text between him and Siren. So he's talking about, being popular or whatever. This did not set well with her, again, or the other subs. Natasha said, she said that she was lost for words when he was talking about that, about him saying, getting popular, and some of the subs came to him. And what he said is, if some of the subs came to him, so be it. If they came over to his channel. And he also said, he goes, I'm not coming, or I'm not there to steal your subs. If they come over, so be it. And he also said that he looked up to her as like an idol, and he's learning from her. And Natasha's like, I'll have to think about that one. Okay. And then he goes on to say, well, you got to start somewhere. And then Natasha said something like, she changes the subject, and she's like, well, I'm lost for words. And she's like, I'll have to think about that for a minute. And, he goes on to say that, he's not doing it to make money, his channel. He's doing it as a hobby. And she completely ignores that. And she goes on to say about letting somebody up on the panel. Okay, so I know I kind of backtracked on that. But we're going to go over about him saying about popular, because then other people were in chat were just going nuts on that. She made other comments about him being popular. But basically, people were asking, what makes you think you're popular? And someone else on panel, and we'll get to that, you're only, and I think she said it too, and we'll get to that later, that he's only popular because she allowed him on panel. I think he got twisted up in his words, like I get a lot as well. It's on the tip of your tongue, but it doesn't come out right. A lot of people like Glenn in chat, okay? They like him. Like I said before, he's funny. I don't know all of Glenn's history, but if he was not in the community, on this drama community, and just someone out there, I don't think he would be one. I think he would be a very likable person, okay? And I think that Glenn, I don't know, I see him as maybe a popular guy as it is. So that's just my opinion. So people like Glenn in the community, right? So if him starting a YouTube channel, this is in their community, so I can see them flopping over there to see what kind of content he's got going on, and they already like him because he's funny. I seen him once where he was doing, everybody was asking him to strip, right? Natasha was off panel, and they were asking him to strip, and he was doing this little striptease thing going on. So they already like him as it is. So I think, in my opinion, that he probably would do pretty good with his own channel, after he got it down what he wanted his channel to be about. And I think a lot of subs that are already Natasha subs would flock over there to see him. And in my opinion, Natasha would not like that one bit. And yes, they would be Natasha's subs as well. But why would she get so upset? Okay, because Glenn is part of her community. And we're going to get to that a little bit later. So I think that's what Glenn was talking about popularity. I don't think his head was swelling up and saying, oh, I'm so popular. I think he just knows, from people that are in the chat, and what he sees in the chat, they're all like, well, where's Glenn at? Glenn is funny. I really like Glenn. So he already sees that, people already like him. They say they like him. They're asking for him. All right. So in his head, he's already got, people that are interested in him. So that's my opinion on that. Now, we also have to remember, we have to remember something. Natasha stated back when Mrs. P tried to drop her YouTube link, Natasha said for her subs, okay, that video is still out there somewhere unless she put that to private too. For her subs, that she was going to work on it that week. But I don't think, she never did. That she was going to make, do a pay, or she was going to work on it, I'm sorry, to where all of her subs that had a channel were going to be able to drop their link for their channel. All right? So that they would be able to promote their own channel. I'll have to find that video. It's on the same video where Mrs. P dropped her link and Natasha said, Mrs. P, we don't, don't do that. I don't promote people dropping their link. And Mrs. P, I guess, apologized, and she said, you don't have to apologize. I just don't allow that in my chat. But I am going to work on this week, and I think she said, if I have time. Now, this is how many months ago? It still hasn't happened. And now she's like, I don't want no part of it. Nope, 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 nope. Nobody with any channels. All right? And we're going to talk about this a little bit later as well. But she already said she was going to do that for her subs, okay? If they had a channel, they could drop their link in there, and she was going to do something, work on something within that week. I understand things get a little bit busy, but all of a sudden, no, that's not going to happen. And we are going to talk about that a little later, but yes, it's in that same video with Mrs. P when all this business first started. She was going to do something to where all of her subs that had channels could drop, do something to where they could promote their own channel. So we got to remember that. So then she goes on and she says, it has taken her 3 years to build her channel on her own merit. And that's what she wants everybody else to do, is to build their channel on their own merit and not use her for subs that have a channel. And that's why she's disappointed, okay? She wants them to use their own merit. It's taken her 3 years. She's only had this channel, okay, the true crime channel, for a year. Now, I get it. She had the the Gypsy Rose thing going on beforehand, but she's had this channel for a year, the true crime. She's had the recliner even less. And in my opinion, still, she grew from fake drama and lies. The Nicole Kessinger baby, cousin, aunt fake channel that just happened to, and I did that video, that just happened to contact a new YouTuber / creator out of all of the other people that were covering the Watts case. Okay? Nobody knew who she was. But, she did make that comment. Everybody's going to know my name. Now, everybody knows her name. Nobody knew who she was. Nobody. Nobody that was covering the Watts case knew who she was. Not a soul. Now, everybody knows who she is. The Mandy C, all these people that made these awareness videos out in the beginning, and she did the drama back and forth. Everybody flocked over, because there wasn't anything really going on. Everybody was just waiting. The fake FBI are at the Watts house because Ahmaud either lived around the corner from the Watts or were around the corner. We didn't see no pictures, but again, some of us that, how do I say this? Some of us that really had some information, some of us that knew people, I'm just going to leave it at that, knew that she was lying, okay? Knew that there was no FBI agents at the Watts house. knew it as a fact, but everybody was flocking and subbing to her. They were with the Nicole Kessinger because, they, like I said, they wanted some news on the Nicole Kessinger because so many people still think that she had something to do with the murders. So they were flocking to her and subbing. I don't call that a coincidence. Not when she was just started her channel and she made that comment, everybody would know my name. And then they just, this new person. That would be like me, okay? I'm a new channel, right? And say that there was a high profile case that just started. And she had less subs than what I got right now. She was going off that uh, Facebook page and just doing a little bit on YouTube. So let's say a very high profile case started, but I didn't start covering the case until it was already done and over with. All right. She didn't come into the case until the Netflix documentary came out. The case was done and over with a year and a month. Chris Watts took the plea in November. She did it in December, so it was already a year and a month after he took the plea. So it was done and over with for over a year. I mean, yeah, you got the conspiracy theories and everything else, but he already did the plea a year and a month before she even started her channel, or at least a year. So, like I said, say that a high profile case that happened a year ago. I just started my channel in December. So say that there was a case a year ago that started, and I decided to start covering it now. Okay? And all of a sudden, out of the blue, somebody that was significant to that case, just out of the blue, contacted me. Nobody knows who I am, okay? Nobody knows who I am. But they contacted me. And I spread it around. I got it spread around that this person that was very significant to this case, this high profile case, contacted me about all sorts of different tidbits that all these people would be interested in. So I got sub after sub, and my channel just grew. Wouldn't that look suspicious? Okay? See what I'm talking about? And then I had all this other fake stuff happening, and I was just getting sub after sub. And then, I had all these hate channels making videos after me, and then I became good friends with them, and then their subs went up by the thousands. And then, I'm not friends with them anymore. But I became friends with them after they made videos after me over and over. And not just one person, not two, not three, not four, this continuously. So when she makes that comment, build your channel on your own merit, build it organically, not off of my subs, and her saying that it took her 3 years, you're lying again. You didn't have a YouTube channel. You had it for 1 year. And then, in my opinion, I'm not saying it's a fact, but in my opinion, you grew that before the Gabby Petito case. I don't know what you did after, because I said that before. I didn't watch for the longest time any creator until the Gabby Petito. But, I don't know what you did then. I was told that you were panel hopping, to all the big creators. But, in my opinion, there was a lot of fake drama and lies going on to get people to flock over to your channel. To me, that is not growing it the right way with morals and stuff. If you're going to lie and make up stuff and make up drama to get people to flock over to your channel, to me, that is not doing hard work. That is not growing your channel morally, ethically, like you say. And we're going to talk about the hard work too. Actually, who does the hard work? because, well, we'll talk about that in a minute because, I do have something to say about that as well. And, I also have to talk about, why not help out your community if they want to grow a channel? But, we'll talk about that here in a bit. And then we're going to talk about the people that came up on the panel because, like I said, I feel like Glenn was interrogated. So you had the first guest come up, and she's basically just talking about, you know, Natasha Cooper. It took her 3 years. Um, Again, it didn't. It didn't. She took time off. She did the Gypsy Rose. I don't know what she did with the Gypsy Rose, but she took time off. I guess this is what she said. I know there was issues with the Gypsy Rose. People, I guess, said they didn't get what they paid for. There was fundraising. I guess even Gypsy Rose has, what, does she have a no contact or something order on Natasha? I don't know what she has, but I guess she does not want to see Natasha at all. Um, that's very interesting. But, um, she just talks about, how he told Jessica Lynn that he would like to have her back and, stuff like that. Um, and then, Natasha, she steps in and she says that um, I asked Glenn to, she interrupts a member of the chat and she goes, I asked Glenn to come up and clear this up with the community because this is where he started. And I'm not sure what the person in chat said, but she asked Glenn to come up on panel like he's a little boy, and he's got to explain himself why he had Jessica Lynn on his own channel. So she asked him to come up, and he's got to clear it up with the community, okay? And because, he started out in this community and decided he wanted to start his own channel, but he has to explain to his community why he was a bad boy. And he started out in that community. And then she's offended kind of when Glenn says about how popular, he can be or how he was. And then she goes on to say that you do realize the only reason why you're popular is because I brought you on my panel. And Natasha said, that really hit me the wrong way. If I wouldn't have brought you up on my panel, nobody would have known who you were. And then Glenn says, well, absolutely. He confirms that. Absolutely. He's given her praise. Absolutely, I know. I wouldn't be a nobody without you, Natasha. He doesn't say that. That's just me ad-libbing there. Nobody would know who I was. I'm a nobody without you, Natasha. And then she starts talking about Jax. Oh, and Glenn goes on to say, I give you 100% credit for that. I'm only popular for allowing me here. And then Natasha asked how long Granny stayed on the piano, or on the panel, not piano, on the panel, and she was just shocked on how long that he allowed her to stay on there. And then the next guest comes up there, and she stood up for Glenn. And she basically said, too, that, his words don't come out right. And, a lot of times when I'm on here, I'm just talking to myself. So, my words just don't come out right like I want them to. I get it. I get tongue-tied, and things just don't come out the way I want them to. So I get that. But she stood up for Glenn and got off. The next guest came up, and Why didn't Glenn end the live? Why does he think he's popular? Well, again, people that are on there, they like Glenn. He's told how much he's liked. So, why doesn't he think he's popular? Um, and then Natasha, she gets on there and she's like, well, I don't know if I would do this again. I would advise creators, you know, I would advise creators. I don't even know what I wrote there. I don't want to put it, if they don't want to put the work into it, or if they want to do a channel, and if they don't want to put the work into it, they shouldn't do it. Um, you don't want to build off of other people's back. Grow the channel on their own merits. I think we've already talked about that because, again, she grows her channel. She keeps going on the drama channel off of other people's content, in my opinion. She wouldn't have her drama channel if she couldn't talk about other people, right? If they quit talking about her, what would she have to talk about? She would have other things that she could do. She would hold people's interest for a while. I've already talked about that in other videos, but people would get bored with it. She would start losing people's interest. Drama sells. We know that. So if she had nobody to talk about, what content would she have? The next guest comes up and says she doesn't want to hold a grudge, but says that Glenn was playing both sides, and he shouldn't allowed Jessica Lynn to be on his panel and take a dig at his friend. And, our community needs to stay strong and intact. Again, it's like a little cult. I understand communities in the YouTube land, but this seems to just go past that. It's like, we're in this community, we got to build up the walls, get our little army around it. We got our little army that goes out into these other communities, right? With their armor, which is, the screenshots and everything to bring back to our leader. And we have to build a fort, around our community. It's bizarre. It's very bizarre. And then everybody says that they're very concerned, and Natasha's concerned too in chat. Concerned, I think about Glenn. They're concerned. And boy, this last one, or I don't know if this was the last one, but this next panel guest really took the cake here. She says we have to take Natasha's channel as priority for all those others in the community that have channels. The way you run your channel, Natasha's will suffer the consequences. Okay? So if you're in Natasha's community, but you decide to have your own channel, okay, you got to watch what you do in your own channel because it'll come back to Natasha. If you want to have someone controversial, bleh, getting tongue-tied here, I'm talking a lot, on your own channel, speak to Natasha privately first. It has to be done. Please, you have to, out of respect and caring for Natasha. Okay? She's basically saying, if you want to have someone on your channel, all right, that's not in your community, you got to speak to Natasha first. It's your channel. All right? But if it's someone not in your community and they might not like Natasha, you got to speak to Natasha first to make sure it's okay. Now it's your channel, right? It's your channel. But it doesn't matter. Speak to the queen first and make sure it's okay. As a community, we have to be about Natasha. No matter what we say, it comes back to her. Okay? Natasha is number one. All you peasants, and this is just me saying this, okay? This is not this lady. This is what this lady was saying. This is me talking. All you peasants that have a channel, okay, that are in this community, you don't matter. Only Natasha does. All right? All you peasants that might have had a channel before Natasha, which I'm sure a lot of you did, not as big as Natasha, but I'm sure a lot of you had a channel or making videos before Natasha. But since her channel grew, and we do know that, like I said, in my opinion, she grew fakely. Okay? That's a word. Yeah. And then with Gabby Petito, she blew up. And a lot of people are saying because of the way she did the Gabby Petito, the way that the analytics were, I'm not sure. I don't even care. But she grew a lot of subs with the Gabby Petito, but then she ain't doing jack with the true crime anymore. I think she's doing a little bit more now, but it went way back down after the Gabby Petito. She got a lot of subs with Gabby Petito, but now she's getting mainly everything on her drama. So again, you know, even though she says it's stressful and she can't handle people talking about her, she can't handle all these channels going after her, it would suck. I couldn't handle it. But then again, if that's your cash cow, okay, why would she want it to go away? If she'd want it to go away, there goes your money. Then what? And, you know, she keeps saying that this is my business. This is how I take care of my family. Well, didn't you brag and brag and brag that your boyfriend takes care of your family? And what did you do prior to a year ago? You said you stayed home. You didn't do anything. Okay? He took care of everything. But now this is your business and it's your income to take care of your family. Which, you know, that's fine. That's what it's doing now. It's taking care of your family. It's your business. I get it. I totally get it. But you make it sound like that, you know, beforehand, you know, what? What did you do? You weren't starving. You had a home. You said your boyfriend makes all this money and he took care of your family. You've had a housekeeper for 20 years. You know, I get it. Your business grew. This is your business. This is how you make your money. But you act like this is the most important thing in the world. Okay? This business takes precedence even over your own family. And I'll tell you why. You can't even go on vacation for a weekend without allowing your phone to blow up with all this bullshit. All right? And you're like, you know, my mom's had to tell me this and that. I'm sorry, but even if you work a regular job and you're like, well, this is my business, this is how I pay for this and that, you're even allowed 2 days off work when you work a regular job. Okay? These mods, these people should leave you the hell alone when you're with your family. When you're with your family and you're going on vacation, you should be telling your mods and telling everybody else, leave me alone, okay? So you got high blood pressure, you got these health issues. My family comes first. I will deal with it when I get back off of vacation. I'm gone for 2 days. I don't want to hear any BS for the 2 days I'm gone. I will deal with it when I get back. But you can't even do that. Family should come first. You don't need a phone blowing up while you're on a 2-day vacation with your family. Family should come first. Point blank, period. Priorities. I understand a business is a business, okay? But YouTube should not take over your damn family. Period. Period. You know, then Natasha wants to go on about all these channels that, or all these people that are going after her, and, you know, she's a target. You guys just don't understand. I don't know any other creator that this is happening to. Look at Molly Golightly, okay? If you would look, they're making video after video after all these creators are going after this woman, her and Blowhorn Betty, big time. I know that the attention's off you right now, Natasha. It's on Molly, okay, big time, because she's pretty disgusting right now. You talked about that too, about how she is filming a child in a church, and she's like, you know, you made a comment, why aren't they, you know, focusing on that? And they are. If you would take a look, channels I've never heard of before. I even made a video about it. There is channels out there I've never seen. I mean, there is so many videos about Molly Golightly now. More videos about her than I am sure about you. But the attention's on Molly right now, not on you. So she has been hated. She's being hated on big time. So the attention is really off you right now. So you should be happy about that. It's all on Molly. You know, I don't know all these other people you're talking about. I know Jax, the name Jax. I don't know about these other people. But the attention right now is on Molly. I mean, I was looking up Molly Golightly to see what she, like I said, what she was up to or what they did yesterday, and all these different people are just making horrible videos about her, which, you know, they should because of what she did, but they are attacking her like crazy. So you should be so happy that their focus is on Molly right now, okay? Not on you. Not as much. I mean, I don't know who all these creators are that you talk about, but that should make you kind of happy. But I'm sure you're going to probably start up some more drama, because I know the attention's got to be on you. That's just my opinion, okay, from what I see. The attention's got to be on you because you got to keep that drama coming. You got to. You know, I really like the music on your videos, you know, that sad music that you have, because you've been betrayed. You've been betrayed by so many people, but again, who I've never seen a creator that has been betrayed by so many people, but you gotta, it's never your fault. You always say, I did nothing wrong. Sometimes you got to take back, you got to step back and look, what did I do wrong? We all do things wrong. You always say it's never your fault. Never, ever is it your fault if a friendship goes bad, if someone walks away. But look at what you do to them when they do walk away. Now, I know that some people make videos about you, or not just videos, but they'll talk about you. They have every right to tell their side, because you're sure going to tell yours. You're going to put out their personal text messages or whatever. They have every right to say their side, okay? And you know, we're going to talk about Jax a little bit, and I know very little about him. I know he's been very rude from the little things that I've seen, and I know that he said something very horrible about the one family's daughter that's missing. He said something like, "Well, just allow her to be missing, or let her stay missing," or something like that. But it seems to me that he might have, and I know he's been your right hand man for 3 years. You know, when you're with Gypsy Rose or whatever, I know he's been with you for a while. But something made him have some compassion for somebody, okay? And I don't even know this person, but I know she's your enemy. But something clicked in him and said, okay, I got compassion for this person. And it sounds like this person didn't even ask for your help, but he came to you privately. All right? He came to you privately and reached out to you to ask for help. And you had to make a big deal about it and blast it. Now, you guys aren't friends no more. There's more to the story than that. But, it's content for you. So you had to make this big old thing. You guys aren't friends no more. It is what it is. But, that is Natasha. That is Natasha. So it is what it is. But moving on, you go on to talk about, Glenn says something about, the channels that are in the community or whatever. He says something about, they represent you. So if your community makes a channel, or if they already have a channel and they go ahead and do their channel, that channel represents you. Huh? Really? Just because they're in your community, like I said, because you're the queen? I mean, I just can't. I can't. And then you say, you can't tell others what to do on their channel. This is that, again, reverse psychology that I talk about. You can't tell what others to do on their channel, but how disappointed you would be. Kind of like how Glenn had Jessica Lynn up on his channel. And then you talk about how people who don't get attention, well, they get attention from her, because she's a big channel, so they like getting attention from her, who would normally not have attention. Again, it's all about her, me. They wouldn't have this if it wasn't for me. I do for everybody. I don't do anything wrong. And then, every time somebody leaves, she always says, nobody liked them. No one likes them out there whenever they leave. No one likes them. But then again, you say no one liked them there. You never liked them. You just felt sorry for them. That's why they were there. You gonna say that about Jax now too? You really didn't like him. You looked at him sideways too. You really didn't like him. You just felt sorry for him. Who knows? And now you say that you're going to watch because, you didn't, which I find that hard to believe. You can't stay away from YouTube even when you're with your family. I really find it hard to believe. But you're going to go watch both Glenn's live and then Jessica Lynn's live. Or her video or whatever about him. And then you go on to say, people who leave, you're glad that they leave. And then this statement just really got to me. You say, if people leave, if they leave, you're happy if they leave, okay? Or they flop or they see the light. They don't have morals or ethics. But because you can't flip that quickly. You were never loyal to begin with. That's very ironic. Because, when somebody does decide to leave you, you flip on them. And you say that they were never, you never really liked them. They weren't really your friend. Like I said before, you just felt sorry for them. You act like they were your friend and you call, when they're there, oh, I love you so much. I love you. You're my friend. You act like they're your friend. But if they decide to leave, you flip on them. And you say, I never really liked you. I just felt sorry for you. So, what does that tell everybody about your morals and ethics that you flipped that quickly? And you could say that about people. And then you say that you haven't changed at all. You just grow, your channel grows and you grow with it. That you haven't changed at all. Everybody can go back and look. I know a lot of the videos are private, but you can go back and look at the videos that she started out with. Like I said, as you do more videos, you get more comfortable with the camera, okay, or the phone or whatever. You get more equipment, okay, to make your videos more professional. You're going to get better and more comfortable at what you do, okay? Yes, Natasha has changed because her videos, she didn't bash people like she does. She did, but not like she does now because she didn't have a following. She wasn't as condescending as she is now. She didn't put herself up there like on a pedestal and everybody was peasants under her feet, okay? She didn't degrade people like she does now. She didn't make people feel like they were beneath her, all right? Now that she has got a following and she's got people calling her a queen and they are so loyal to her and throwing money at her, you will see the change. Go look at the videos. You will see the change. And I'm not talking about being more, she's always been comfortable in front of a camera. You can tell that. Okay? I'm not talking about being comfortable in front of a camera. I'm talking about her words and the way she acts. You will see the change. So with that, here's the other thing. She says she's put in so much hard work and grew her channel on her own merits. So then I had the question, did she really work so hard, or did her researchers / mods work so hard? Who really worked so hard? I mean, she says she doesn't know how to edit. She doesn't know how to do this and that. I'm sure that, a lot of these mods and researchers and stuff, they have regular jobs that they go to, 9 to 5. I say 9 to 5, even though, banker hours. But they have regular jobs that they have to go to. They have children and a husband or a wife, whatever, you know what I'm saying. They have a family they have to take care of that they actually have to cook for, okay? They don't have someone doing it for them. They have a house to clean. They have a job to go to besides this. But yet it seems like they're expected to be there at the beck and call at every live, which is what, 2, if not more times a day, and then every night, at least every night. And sometimes these lives can go on 3, 4, 5 hours on top of their regular job, on top of their family. And then they have to go out and, how many of these people have to go and get screenshots and go in all these groups and listen to, all these different, quote, haters' videos to find out who's saying what, okay? Who's saying what, and get all these screenshots and all this information to make content. And bring it back to Natasha. What hard work does she actually have to do? It seems like to me that these mods / researchers are doing the majority of it. And I'm not just talking about her. I'm talking about, can this be said about other people? I thought about it that with Critical K now, Critical K did do her own monologue, and I'm sure she spent time writing that monologue out. I mean, that was something that she took her own time doing. Okay, but she had her own little spies going into groups and other channels and bringing back information, but they were doing a lot of her own, their dirty work. So my question is, how much work does she actually do? I mean, it's her channel, I get it. But what are these mods? And I'm not just talking about mods that are wrenching, but the people that are doing a lot of work behind the scenes. What do they get compensated for? Okay? And my question also is, with some of the bigger channels and stuff, should the mods be compensated? These people that are putting in a lot of hard work. And this is just a question, just a general question. Should they be compensated somehow? And this is just, like I said, just a general. I'm just curious. Um, I always wondered that. Should they be compensated because it's like a second job, right? Some mods, they might be stay-at-home moms or slash dads. And this is just my opinion, guys, and I'm not trying to put down any creator out there at all. This is just my opinion, but and a lot of people might disagree with me, but this is just my opinion, and feedback is great. But in my opinion, and I don't even know how it would work, but my opinion is, um, if you're monetized and getting super chats, and if you really have um, a couple of mods, and I'm not just, I don't know, this is a hard one. So, like I said, opinions are great, but, you know, if you have a couple of people that are really putting in a lot of time to help you with the channel, I think they should be compensated. I get it, it's your channel, but I really think they should be compensated, and I don't know how that would work at all, tax wise or whatever. But if they are really putting in the work, you know what I'm saying? Like doing research, like if you're doing true crime, or helping you with design, like because I know on some other I know like with Critical K, some of her mods, they did a lot of editing. They did a lot of uh, computer work and stuff like that. They did a lot of research and stuff like that. And I know they didn't get a dime. Okay. And I don't know how that would work with taxes and stuff like that. But I'm saying, some of these people that really do all this work, in my opinion, they should be compensated. So, what are your opinions on that? I really think that they should. And I'm just wondering, if any of the mods or researchers or whatever, if they are getting compensated in any way, besides just a shout out that, hey, these are my mods, you know, when they spend so much time in these channels, and I get it, the creator, it's their page and everything, but some of these other people are really putting a lot of time in. So, I mean, that is just my opinion, and I'm not talking about 4, 5, 6, 7 people because, gosh, you wouldn't make any money, right? The channel wouldn't make any money, especially if you're a smaller channel and you're just getting monetized and you're not making a lot of money. But if you had a couple of good people that were really helping you out, um, I don't know. In my opinion, they should be they should be making some of the money as well because they're really putting a lot of their time in. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Um, So thoughts on that? Any thoughts? My other thing is too, just like I said, Natasha said that she was going to drop a link for her subs. Um, if they had channels, and this is my thought on it. And again, I could be completely wrong. You know, just like us that went to shop at like a local business, small business, right, to help a small business grow. Um, you know, if you're in a community, if you say this is your community, right? I mean, what I don't get is I don't know if it's greed. I mean, she said everybody needs to build their own channel with their own merit, but what I don't get, if this is her community, and again, I could be completely off base here and I can be completely wrong. So any input um, is greatly appreciated on this thought. But if she has especially members that are paying her, and even her subs are helping her out as well. But especially her members, because her members are her paycheck, right? The members that are helping her, and the people that are they're sending super chats. That's her paycheck, and not just talking about Natasha either. I'm talking about creators. But if they're in the community and they're like, okay, I'm starting my own channel, um, me personally, I would think that I would support that person that's in my community. Okay, I wouldn't see them as a threat, especially if I was a large um, channel like Natasha or like some of the other people. I wouldn't see them as a threat. Um, I would see them as this person is trying to either supplement their income or they're trying to, start their own little business. And I wouldn't see them as trying to piggyback off me or trying to steal my subs, because the thing is if they like, and I'm just going to use Natasha here, if they like Natasha and they're loyal to Natasha, they're still going to be subbed to her, right? They're still going to be giving her their membership money and stuff like that. But they like someone else in their community, so they're going to go watch them as well. And they might, when they get monetized, if they get monetized, they might throw them a few super chats, or they might do a membership to them. But in my mind, I'm thinking if they're in the same community, wouldn't you want to encourage a growth, you know, for or to help the people out in your community to make their lives better or to help them out? Just like we would if when we shop at these small businesses, these mom and pop businesses, to help out our small community. But it seems like, I mean, she's like saying no, grow it on your own merit or whatever. But these same people are the ones that are basically giving her a paycheck, right? So you would think that as an appreciation, that she would be all for, okay, yeah, I appreciate you. And, I would do, I don't know, in my opinion, I would be okay with helping out as long as they weren't a hate channel against me. I would be okay with, you know, somebody in my channel that wanted to start their own channel and my subbing to them as well. I would not see that as a problem. I don't know, am I completely wrong in that? I would actually encourage it, because if somebody else could supplement their income to help support their family and to feed their children, that would not upset me. Actually, it would make me very happy. Um, I wouldn't see it as being a competition or taken away from me. I would feel like that I was helping out another family, and it would make me very happy that I would actually be helping another family, even if it was just a little bit, you know. I don't know, I can be completely off base there. So, any feedback on that? Because I don't know, to me, she just puts it off that it's real greedy. I don't know. Maybe that's just a thing with creators. I don't know. I know for me, myself personally, I would feel that, like I said, that I would be given back to my members and my supporters if I was a big creator like that. Of thank you for getting me to where I am today, because without you, I wouldn't be here. Okay, I wouldn't have this monthly income that I have without all of you. So if you want to start a channel, and yeah, we're a community here, so a lot of my subs are going to be subbing to you also, because we are a community, and I have no problem with that, because if I can help someone else out, to help support their family a little bit, I would be more than happy, because I would have enough confidence in myself that I'm not going to lose my subs that adore me, you know, going to this other person that I know this other person adores me as well. I don't know. I could be completely off base there, but that was just something that I thought about. Uh, when she said that she was totally against this, and I know a lot of creators might think the same way. They don't want their members or their subs having channels, and they wouldn't support them. So I don't know, any feedback on that. I have a different opinion about it. My opinion is I would treat it as um, any small business in my community, per se, if I was a large creator, and I would support, you know, a small business and help support them. So any feedback would be fine. I'm going to end it there. Um, I This was just kind of a fly by night video after I'd seen all that she put out. And I know, again, I fumbled all over the place, and I did write a few notes down, but I still fumbled everywhere. Um, it kind of wasn't a planned, it was a last minute thing. I was looking, again, at Molly Go Lightly's things, and came across, some things with Natasha. So thought I would do this, and then I was real curious about, you know, um, what people really thought about, these mods, you know, um, with some of the bigger creators, of compensation, and also what your thoughts were with, some people that are members and subs, faithful members and subs of starting their own channels, and if you would support them, if you were a bigger creator, if you would support them, and, um, I'm branching out, um, and, kind of encouraging them, to start an income for their own families. So with that, I'm going to end it. If anybody has any feedback on those two things, feel free to comment. I'm really curious. So I gave you my point of view about it, and we'll catch you again on the next video. I'm not sure what it will be, so we'll just figure it out as I go. Talk to you later.